Hello YouTube, welcome to my channel. This is going to be a short video on my current setup where I have my two laptops. One's an XPS 13-inch on the left, then one's an XPS 15-inch Dell on the right, and the middle is my Alienware 27-inch monitor. Then I have the Logitech mechanical keyboard with the Logitech mouse there. So I'll be upgrading my workstation. What am I going to upgrade it to? I'm going to upgrade it to this. That's a 40-inch curved screen Dell monitor, and it does PBR, so I can have both videos of the monitor fed into a single, from each laptop fed into a single monitor. And the whole idea here is to keep me looking straight versus the current setup where you see I'm looking to the left and right. So wish me luck. I'm going to take apart what you saw, and this is going in its replacement. The box on top, the brown box, that's a upgraded docking station with multiple Thunderports from Dell. So next thing you'll see is the setup on my workstation. Bye for now. And just like that, it's cleared. So now comes the hard part. Stay tuned. Alright, YouTube fans, so got the desk cleared up and ready for the new monitor. And this is kind of a combination video. It's not only the setup, but also an unboxing of the new Dell curved monitor. This is again Dell's 40-inch curved monitor, model number U4025QW. This was purchased directly from Dell. Okay, I'm going to be a little creative with the camera angle there. This is kind of a big box, so a little hard to get it kind of in the frame. But that's the back of the box. I don't know if you can see that. Give you a little kind of picture of what's inside. So let me go ahead and put this back down. Get that to where it doesn't fall over. And let me see if I can bring the camera angle up. Give me a second. Okay, we'll leave it at that. All right, go ahead and open her up. Let's see what's inside. All right. Well, it looks pretty busy. It's got quite a bit of stuff here. Instructions. You know how often those are used. So USB cables, USB looks like C to A, and then a USB C to C, and then HDMI cables to HDMI cables. Hopefully with my setup, I actually will not need to use those if everything goes well. Let's see here. This is the stand. Okay, I don't plan on using the stand in this setup, so we can not worry about that. Power plug. Let's set that over here. Okay. And this is probably, yep, that's the arm for the stand. So, okay, let's go ahead and open this up. Set that aside. So I don't think I'll be needing most of what's in there. And this is really what you're paying for. And this is the actual monitor. So let's see if I can follow the instructions. And this goes down. Okay, makes sense. This is supposed to come out like so. Alright, that comes out. This packaging boxes. I'm sure this will raise out of there. So hopefully you're seeing that on camera. Yeah, it looks like you are. And we can go ahead and get to the final packaging on this. Looks like it's got some tape on the side. Let's go ahead and cut that. All right. By the way, I've fired my IT department. I now rely exclusively on Chat GTP. it's gonna tell me everything as far as how to set this thing up. So not that I couldn't do it without it, but it's kind of fun letting that kind of guide you. Okay, just go ahead and break that apart. Yep, let's go and do that. All right, so nicely packaged there. Yeah, definitely a hunk of metal. This thing is huge. The only thing I was kind of worried about is, do I actually have enough space? I think I do have space. And if everything goes well in terms of the way I'm setting it up, may even save some space. Okay, go ahead and take that off. And that's the monitor. So, yeah, looks pretty nice. So, give me some time and I will get that thing mounted and then all wired up. I have a Dell dock. I'll give you the dock model number once I get to that, and that'll be part of the final setup. All right, more later. Bye. This is the workstation after it's been cleaned up and ready for the new monitor. And I just have a pad there to hold the monitor while I get it on that wall mount with his 100 by 100 Visa pattern, which this mount can hold, I think, up to a 55-inch TV or something like that. Plenty of strength to hold this monitor. Okay, I'm back. I guess this is going to turn into an installation video where you're getting your money's worth. So what I'm doing now is just taking the 4 screws out of the back. These are the screws that come with it. I don't believe they expect these to hold up a monitor of this size. So I'll be replacing them with these screws, which are part of the wall mount here. And if you're interested in the wall mount info, I can get that to you. Just put a comment. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and take these out like so. They're not put in very tight. They're just kind of, I think these are just placeholder screws, to be honest with you. Although they are stainless steel, or at least they look, well, maybe not stainless, but chrome plated. They're not plastic, they are metal. So that is stainless steel. Nice. So I checked to see if this is impacted by the tariffs, because it is that time. And when the economic situation between the U.S. and a lot of other countries, but historically the price on this actually went down post April, and it is manufactured in China, so go figure. All right, so now here's the task. We gotta screw these into the back, and then we have these little spacers that will go there and basically be like that. So anyway, we're going to try that next, so hold on tight. All right, so we're going to go ahead and invert this, put it upright, kind of its lasting position. See if I can get this kind of approximately where it needs to be height-wise. And looks like I'll have to raise the monitor a little. So let me get another cushion and we'll see if we can raise it a little more. Hold on. Okay, we're back. I just added another pillow underneath the monitor. Guys, I'm sure there's a smarter and better way to do this, but this is where I'm at the moment. So let's go ahead and put one of the screws in. This is the pattern I think that is going to be the closest to what's needed. And see if we can at least start threading that in by hand and go from there. So hold on tight. Yeah, so it lines up pretty good. I don't feel I have to raise anything too much, just a matter of whether that spacer is a correct one or not. So let's see. Yeah, so Looks like it's gonna have to go up a little. I can raise it a little, so that's not too big. It's not too hard. For me, putting that cushion at the bottom, sorry, my head's in the camera, putting that push cushion in the bottom certainly does help in terms of having to, you know, support the entire weight of the monitor. All right, so I got one going. Let me go ahead and get the other one kind of started. That way we can maybe have two anchored in there before we do the ones in the bottom. So give me a second. Yep, that's in there. All right. All right, things are kind of coming apart here. It's going to be a little more of a dance than what I'm taping at the moment. So let's get that back in there. Actually, one thing I want to do is let me just put that in there and just see from a, yeah, definitely we should have more than enough clearance. So I think I'm headed in the right direction. It's just a matter of getting this thing lined up. And, you know, that's going to be interesting. There's a button in the back. Oh, that's for releasing the stand. Okay, good. It's not like an on and off button, because the back plate on this mount is going to cover that button, but that's not going to be needed because that's really there for the stand. All right, let's see if I can get that lined up and have that kind of start to screw that in into the back. I'm not using a power tool intentionally. I don't want to potentially cross thread something and then have to deal with that. So, all right, so I can generally get a good feel if that's being screwed in square. Feels look pretty good. Okay, it won't go in. All right, so that's at least holding it up, so I don't have to carry much weight at this point. I'm pretty confident that is screwed in pretty square. So let me do the other one and see if I can get that hole lined up. Yep, that hole is lined up. And I just dropped the spacer. That will happen. All right, let's get to this and see if I can do this again. And go from there. All right. All right, so that's kind of lined up. Let's see if we'll get it threaded in square. All right, that feels pretty good too. All right, so I got two going, two more to go. And we should be good. All right, I'm not going to bore you with videotaping the other two. I'll come back when those are squared and the monitor is fully mounted. All right, stay tuned. Okay. Well, the pillow concept is the right concept. It got me within, I would say, a few millimeters of where I needed to be. But the hard ones are the ones at the bottom. So my lovely helper, who you are not going to see on camera, was able to assist me, and she actually has smaller hands, so it made it a lot easier to go in there. So right now I'm just kind of screwing in each of the four in the back of the monitor on the articulating arm for the wall mount. Again, the pattern is 100 Visa by 100. Okay, that one went in kind of quickly. That's interesting. Let's go ahead and get this one in. Say hello to my dog. All right, that's pretty tight. I'm not gonna go too tight, but tight enough. That's good. This one kind of worries me. This one went way too fast. But seems like it's in. All right, so now we're set up on the wall mount. We'll find out here in a second if it really is. Pretty sure it is. That's fairly good and tight. So let's go ahead and remove. So this wall mount doesn't go up and down, it just swings left and right, which in hindsight probably would have been better to get one that goes up and down. But hey, can't have everything. All right, so I'm just kind of pulling the pillow out, which is kind of tight under there, if you can imagine. So now I've created another problem, but let's see if we can solve that here pretty quick without damaging anything. Yeah, it's going to swing out, and I can slowly pull one pillow, pull the other pillow, and as I knock the TV around, it's not moving, which is a good sign. So let me swing it back and you'll see kind of how it looks now that it's mounted. Well, there it is. Wall mounted, 40-inch curved Dell monitor. I think it fits actually pretty good. And when you see in the final setup, I'll have a dock station there. I have one laptop here, my 15-inch, my 13-inch. Advantage of this screen is I won't be looking at the laptop screens. I'll just be looking ahead, and if everything goes well, one portion of the screen will have this laptop on it, the other portion will have that laptop. So the next thing is get the Thunderport, the Dell docking station unboxed, and get that plugged in and get everything wired and ready to go. So stay tuned. Okay, the final setup is done on the new Dell Curve monitor using my two laptops. That gray one in the front is an XPS 13 and the one behind it is an XPS 15. So this is not as simple as I had hoped it would be. It's actually several days later and I'm taping the final video on this. Essentially, here's what happened. The Dell dock, which you see there, wasn't as important in terms of setup, at least in my case. I actually ended up getting a separate switch. That's a UGREEN switch. It acts as a KVM. Yes, the monitor has a KVM, but I found that it's not as good in terms of switching from one monitor to the next. So you see the screen, it's set up. I have both monitors with their screens projected onto the U4025QW, and the transition from one XPS to the other is just as simple as hitting this button here, or actually there's a remote button here that I could just press, and that will take me from one computer to the next. One computer I use more for work, the other one I use more for videos and pictures and stuff. But here's the challenge. The challenge is, although that switch does work, and right now I have the monitor in the PNP mode, the audible function or the speaker on the monitor is only functional on the Thunderport connection. So this monitor has one single Thunderport connection, which currently the XPS 13 is connected to. And that single Thunderport connection allows not only for data transfer, video, but also audio through the speaker of the monitor. Now, when I switch to the 15, that is actually connected via what's called a DisplayPort connection. And that DisplayPort connection can connect everything except the audio. And that's why I have my Devialet Mania speaker sitting there. That's actually connected via Bluetooth to the XPS 15. So I spent days actually trying to figure this out and called Dell finally, and they did, which doesn't make sense to me. They did say, yeah, the audio is only functional on the Thunderport connection. So it doesn't make sense to me that you would have a dual screen monitor, one that's connected via Thunderport, the other via DisplayPort, and not have the functionality of for each computer on each screen on the monitor. But it is what it is, but I did finally get it to work, at least in my case. I have the Logitech mechanical keyboard and the Logitech mouse. Again, instead of having to go in and press multiple buttons, I just simply push that button there, and it'll toggle between one laptop to the other as far as being active. And the only workaround that I had to do was the workaround with the audio output. I couldn't rely on the screen for speakers for that like I can via the Thunderport connection on the XPS 13. I had to go to an external speaker and Bluetooth connect that. It's no big deal. I do have a Dell dock there. That's actually an old Dell dock, and I'm just using that for adding some additional peripherals. I have a external SSD 22 terabyte drive that's now mapped to both computers. And then I have a few other peripherals that are tied into that Dell dock. Makes it just a little easier to, to navigate between all those devices. So anyway, that's the final setup. Also got this laptop stand. It's actually really nice. Really happy with that. Of all the things, that's the thing that I was really delighted about. And it just saves a lot of desk space because now I can just put my computers in a vertical position, and therefore they're not taking up my desk space, and I can use now a dual setup for monitors. And again, originally my purpose in doing this was more from an ergonomic standpoint. Wanted to make sure that I'm kind of facing forward. You also see a Brio Logitech camera, and that does also switch with the KVM as well. So, and it is functional on both the XPS 13 and XPS 15. The only thing that is not is the audio output on the XPS 15 connected via the DisplayPort. And I do have some fans here that I do keep on the back just to aid in some of the cooling as these laptops, although I don't think they're going to get really hot. I just did put that there. So anyway, long video, turned out to be much longer than I anticipated. But hopefully you'll find this information helpful if you decide to get this monitor and or use it in the way that I have. All right. Anyway, thanks again for watching, and till the next video, take care.